Style for Life. I'm Stephanie Rumble, fashion stylist, accountability coach, and your guide to feeling good in your body and your clothes. Based in Christchurch, New Zealand, I bring over 3 decades of experience in fashion, fitness, and wellness to help you feel strong, stylish, and self-assured. Together we'll explore the emotional, physical, and practical sides of style, because true confidence starts from within. No matter your age or size, you deserve to feel confident and show up as the best version of you. I truly believe this. This is Style for Life.
Hi everyone, it's Cup and Show Week in Christchurch, which is a very exciting week. This is a week where there's lots of race meets on, lots of people dress up, there's lots of exciting clothing being chosen, being worn, being selected, and honestly, everyone is like in a frenzy of excitement. However, I am not in Christchurch. I am in Melbourne this week, and I am doing a course where I am working with a master license holder from Image Innovators, Claire Maxfield, who you've seen on this podcast. And I am training to be a trainer of fashion stylists, which is so exciting. It's been a very busy 3 days. I've got one more day left, and I'm here in my hotel room recording this podcast. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. And I am looking forward to talking to you about this subject. It's something that I'm very interested in, something that I do quite a bit myself. And I like to encourage my clients to explore this. And I've titled this podcast, How to Wear a Print. So a lot of the time when my clients come to see me, they have been wearing what we would call a lot of supporting acts. Now, when you think about your wardrobe, I think I've said this before, you want to think of your wardrobe a little bit like a movie set. So you've got, on a movie, you have the heroes. The heroes are the leading acts. They bring the story along. And then you have the supporting acts who support the heroes and also may have smaller parts to play, but you need lots of them to be able to make the heroes stand up. Now, let's think of your wardrobe the same way. So if you think of your wardrobe as having 1 or 2 heroes and then lots of supporting acts, it means that all the heroes can be connected together with a supporting act. I know that was a long-winded way of getting to the point, but my point is that wearing a print is often a hero piece. So, and that's a lot of the time why people feel a bit unsure about them. So if we look at the actual specific definition of a printed fabric is a textile that has a color or design applied to it in a specific designed pattern as opposed to being uniformly dyed. So a plain piece of fabric is a piece of fabric that has no other colors on it, that's just one color, as opposed to a print that has other colors on it. It's dyed with other colors or printed with other colors on it. It's achieved through lots of different methods. So you can print a fabric with digital printing, screen printing, and traditional techniques, which apply inks or dyes directly on the fabric to create patterns or images. So that's what a printed fabric is. So I'm going to show you some examples of printed fabrics. These examples come from our color palette. So if I find the example here of a fabric that is not printed, it's a plain fabric, I'm going to hold up a couple of colors and pieces of fabric that are definitely not print. So if we look at, for example, this piece of fabric here, I'm holding up a bright pink piece of fabric. This is a piece of fabric I use when I'm draping a client. This is a plain, unprinted pink piece of fabric. You can see there's no other colors in it. It's just a plain piece of fabric. Now, if we were to make a fabric a print, I've purposefully worn a print today. So the outfit I'm wearing is actually made out of silk scarves. And when I was in China, I found this outfit. And if you're watching, you'll be able to see. So you can see there's actually a dragon in the design. It's actually got a map of Shanghai in the design. It's got a whole lot of street names and a whole lot of bits and pieces that pull it together, that are telling a story on a fabric. So if we look at what a print actually is, I've used the words telling a story. I just kind of made that up then, but it pretty much is. Now, the other thing about a print is you can get lots of different types of printed designs. So for example, you could have a floral. So that's any type of plant life. So if I'm going to hold up some of these here, these are some of the boards we use when we're working with clients. This particular one I'm holding up. Down the right-hand side, we've got some lovely hydrangeas, and these are a print. This is the printed design, a floral design. And floral is very popular. It can be a ditzy little flower to huge, large, bold floral designs like these ones here. So they emulate nature. Then we've got what we call geometric designs. So you've got things like this one in the middle here, which is like a check. So it could be a circle, a square, a triangle. It can range from simple color blocking to intricate tessellating patterns. So this one here is a stripe. I'm holding up now a stripe. And you can see the stripe is definitely a geometric as well too. So an abstract design, and also this one in the middle here is also a geometric spot. So if we want to look at something that's more abstract, that would be a print that's not necessarily uniform, it maybe doesn't repeat, and it's more abstract in its features. So if we think of abstract, it's unrecognizable shapes and motifs. Graphic is related to a term that refers to bolder and more modern patterns that can sometimes be combined with other pattern types. So you look at this one across the top, it's more abstract. It's a little bit like water. It's not necessarily repeating, and that's an abstract as well. So all of these are different kinds of prints. Now, if you think back to what I'm wearing again, this particular one is a combination of geometric. There's obviously some recognizable animals on it, which brings me to the other kind of print, which we know all about, and some people are really into and some are not. And I personally am into them. And that's what we call an animal print. So you can see here that we've got lots of different types of animals. This one's is mainly tigers, I think, or leopards. But leopard print, zebra print, it's focused on animal skin. So it's like a zebra or a leopard or a snake. The focus is on the print, not the animal's full body. So that's an animal print. So when we're looking at that, it's more of the skin or the pattern found on the skin of an animal as opposed to a picture of the animal printed onto clothing. So that brings me to the last one, which is a traditional ethnic print, which includes classic designs and motif rooted in specific cultures or historical movements. So I'm just trying to think if I've got an example here of one. It's something that you might see again, something that might be repeated because it's like the emblem of a country, and people might wear it in a print or in their clothes. So that's the kind of thing you would see as well. So just to recap on those particular prints, just so you can retain the information, particularly if you're listening, a floral, any type of plant life like flowers, trees, buds. It can be little tiny wee flowers or leaves or trees or buds or whatever, to actually huge big ones. So I find that with florals, some people love the big florals and others actually prefer a smaller, less obvious. And florals are used in men's and in women's clothing. So it's not just women who wear florals. Then geometrics are super popular, and they can come in stripes, plaids, triangles, simple color blocking, intricate patterns, etc., etc. And I'm holding up another one here. You can see there's quite a few geometrics, or a couple of geometrics on here. This geometric in the middle here, and this one at the end too, which is just like a candy stripe. So we have all sorts of things that sit in this. And again, very, very popular, particularly in men's clothing. So men's shirts have a lot of the plaids, checks, stripes, etc., which are that geometric kind of pattern. And coming back to the abstract as well, so it's that bolder, it can be combined with other pattern types. So, you'd think my particular outfit here is probably what we call more of an abstract. So there's lots of different things combined together with other pattern types, and it's a bit bolder. It's not necessarily related shapes, like a check would be repeated. Then obviously the animal print, which we've talked about, and then the ethnic or traditional prints. So those are the different types of prints. And I suppose one of the things I want to cover off in this podcast is, how do you wear a print and why are you not wearing a print? So the commonest problem I hear with people coming to see me about prints is they don't want to stand out. we have this really interesting culture in New Zealand where we don't want to stand out in our clothes. Now, I understand that. Not everyone wants to be out there. Not everyone wants other people to see them. Sometimes people just want to blend with the crowd, and that's completely understandable. But I just want to sort of point out at this point that others notice you at either ends of the spectrum of noticing. It's my terminology. It's a bit late at night and the time zones are different, so my brain's a little, okay, so the spectrum of noticing, right? Down this end, you notice because you don't look good, you don't smell good, you behave badly. And this end, it's the opposite, right? So most of us want to be somewhere in the middle. Now, print doesn't necessarily scream out unless you are wearing a print that is not right for you. Now, this is a really interesting one. So how do we choose whether a print is right for us or not? So, for example, some people are going to love stripes. They're going to love geometric prints. They're going to feel really good in check, but they might not feel good in any other type of print at all. So personally, I don't wear very many stripes. It's not really something I feel good in, but I feel good in abstract prints. I feel good in ethnic prints. I feel good in animal print. That's really my jam. Some florals as well. So I tend to like those prints. So it depends on your personality type, depends on what you relate to. It also depends quite a lot on what your colouring is and whether the print is for you. So I think if we start off first of all by talking about why people avoid print a bit more, and then I'll talk a wee bit about how it can work on the body. So people avoid prints due to personal style preferences. Like you might be a minimalist dresser and you find print is too maximalist for you, so it's not for you. You might find it too visually overwhelming or visually stimulating. So you just can't cope with it. You need a calm, neutral palette in order for your brain to operate. And this is a really interesting point because I've got a really good friend who set up a school for neurodiverse students, and she has brought this out of Australia. She's done a really amazing job and is still doing an amazing job in Christchurch, New Zealand. And her teachers only wear navy, white and beige because those are the colours that the students don't respond and react to. So interesting, isn't it, that print can be too visually stimulating or overwhelming for some people. So consider this when you're thinking about why you might not wear print. Is it because that's how you feel in it? It also might be a practical concern, like you might feel like prints are harder to coordinate or they might date an outfit. Now, I would actually argue the complete moot on that and say that they are much easier to coordinate, but I'll explain why in a moment. Dating an outfit, look, it depends on the print and what's on trend and what the colours are, and there's a whole lot of things. I think shape of clothing is more dating than print of clothing. There is trend. There are trends in style and in prints, and we do see these come and go out of fashion. So that does happen, but I think it's very unlikely that a print will date an outfit. The shape of the clothing will do that. So yeah, kind of that they can be brought up as concerns. Some prints might feel unprofessional in a work setting, making them look larger than they are or too difficult to incorporate without clashing with other pieces. So again, I would again argue the moot on the unprofessional. I think the right print can look really professional, interesting and engaging, depending again on the context. As I was speaking about the school for neurodiverse children or neurodiverse students, for them, it's best for them to wear less visually distracting clothing. However, clothing doesn't need to be distracting. If you're wearing the right colours and styles for you, it's actually attracting. So again, I've just argued the moot on all of those. So I think the clashing with other pieces, there can be challenges with that if you have a whole wardrobe of heroes. Remember, if you are going to buy print, you need to have supporting acts. So for example, all day today, I've been wearing this cream cardigan over my printed lovely two-piece top and trousers because it's just felt like comfortable, and it's a very classic piece and it brings the outfit on. Actually, the real reason is it's warm and it's been a cold day. Okay, so what are some of the advantages of wearing a print, and how do you choose them and how do you incorporate them? So I would say that prints enhance your wardrobe by stretching the number of outfits you can create. So for example, if I come back to what I'm wearing, I'll take my cardigan off again. I'm wearing this print, for those of you who are listening, which is, again, it's made from silk scarves from Shanghai, and I'll hold up some aspects of it. So the colours in it are a darker turquoisey blue, a bright turquoisey blue, a peach, an orange, a dark reddy rust, and a little bit of black and white, right? So when I looked at the print, I was thinking, okay, this is a good piece. This could be worn with so many things. Immediately I think of a blazer I have, which is in the turquoisey blue. I can think of a pair of trousers I have in the brown. I can think of jeans that will look really good with this. I can think of a peach belt. I think of lots of white things. So actually, when I look at the colours in this print, it was a big tick for me because it goes with so many things in my wardrobe. I think the other thing that print does too, and look, your shape and style of clothing can do this as well, is it allows a personal expression through the colour and the pattern. So I know that I feel really good when I'm wearing a print. I feel like I'm being self-expressed and I'm actually being who I am. So a print can also create visual effects like slimming a silhouette, boosting confidence, and adding interest to an outfit by combining solid colours with a print or with another print. So for example, if you wanted to wear this outfit that I'm wearing again, and you can see the top, I'll stand up again so those of you who can't see can have a bit of a look at it. See, I've got matching trousers. If I wanted to wear this with another piece, it would be really simple for me to pick a colour out. In fact, I've worn it a lot with jeans because of the amount of blue in it, and it does look really nice with jeans. I would probably, like I said, put it with brown, maybe with red, maybe with orange. There's so many choices. So it gives you an opportunity to mix with a solid colour if that's what you want to do. Okay, so they can also help you make a fashion statement. So if you want to make a statement, a print can be a way to do this. So just think about that. So just it literally can make a statement. If you don't want it to, it doesn't have to. So I think that there's some wardrobe and style benefits to a print here. And the first one is you can create more outfits. I was just telling you now about all the different things I could wear with this particular print that I'm wearing. And that's because it's got lots of different colors in it. And you could also layer it. I could put something underneath this for this winter if I wanted to. I probably won't because I tend to have winter clothes and summer clothes in the climate that we live in. But if I wanted to, I could add I'd probably add a mesh underneath it, and I could wear this, and I could turn the top around and have the bow open at the front. So, really versatile as well by layering as well. So print can do that, particularly if you layer print with a neutral that sits within the print. So again, another thing that prints do is they enhance personal style. So they're a really powerful tool for self-expression. So I personally find that I feel self-expressing with print. And I wear lots of different print, not as many geometrics as I said, but they add personality and confidence to your look. And I totally feel that they do add that confidence piece and show that you are confident. Now, you don't have to be standing out to look confident. The other thing that prints can do, and this is really interesting, and people don't necessarily think of this, prints can help you achieve visual effects. So, for example, if you want to look slimmer in your clothes, and I'm not suggesting that everyone does, because not everyone does. Please don't think I'm saying that this is what you have to do either, but I do hear a lot that people want to look slimmer. So cleverly placed prints can draw the eye and create an illusion of a slimmer silhouette. For example, using a bold print on the torso and putting a darker top over the top can draw the eye and create that illusion coming up the body. Okay, body proportion as well. So you can use smaller prints to make areas appear larger, or larger prints to make areas appear smaller. So where are you going to put the print on the body? So the eye always looks to the print, right? So I would say if you want to look taller, put the print up on the upper part of your body so the eye's drawn up the body as well. So body proportion can change with the kind of print you're wearing too. It doesn't have to be an out there bright print. You could just have a very simple check in your trousers, for example, that was very very vertical and drew the eye, or a very fine pinstripe, and drew the eye up the trousers to the waistband, which created that illusion of length, which a lot of people are looking for in their clothes as well. So that's another real advantage of wearing a print as well, is it can create different body proportions. It can make you look longer, it can make you look shorter. Horizontal prints can draw the eye across, so they can create width. So if you're wanting to create width, say for example across the shoulders, we do this with line and styling clothes, but you can also do it with a print. So you might wear a horizontal stripe in the upper body and then a plain bold in the lower body, particularly if you're, say, a pear shape and you want to change your body proportions and you want your upper body to look bigger than your lower body or in proportion. You can have a horizontal striped top and a dark bottom, which makes your body look more balanced and your upper body look probably a little bigger. Prints can add interest, so they make an outfit more visually engaging than solids alone, and can be a great way to bridge an item from one season to another. So they just are more visually engaging. Okay, so they can take an item from one season to another. So you might put on a print, like you might have a printed jacket that you wear in the summer over a plain dress, in the winter you wear over a polo neck. So they actually do the job in both seasons. I tell you the other thing that prints do, which is a really interesting one, is they boost mood and confidence. So bright, bold colors are often associated with prints. They can have a mood boosting effect, while cooler shades can promote feelings of calm and focus. So just think about what kind of print you're wearing, what suits your skin tone. That's really important. I'm more likely to wear a brighter, bold print because that's in a warm tone, because that's what suits me, right? And I do feel more myself in that. Again, we've talked a bit about identity. So you want to, think about who you are. It's so interesting. Today, I had a very lovely lady come in while we were doing our training, and she was Mauritian. So that means she's from Mauritius, peeps, which is a very cool place to be from. And she said that her son got married recently, and she was talking to the mother of the bride, who was a Filipino lady, and they both wore clothes that expressed their culture. So she wore a lush green kind of dress, and she said it felt so good because it felt like she was showing the Mauritian side of her personality in the wedding party. And then the mother-in-law or the mother of the bride wore something Filipino and traditional, which really expressed who she was. And she was so excited telling me about the print she'd worn for this wedding. She said, I was putting my hand up and saying, here are the Mauritians. And I felt like that was such a good example of somebody expressing their identity through their clothing. And it's interesting because this outfit I'm wearing, like I keep going on and on about it, but it's got a big dragon on it, which is often associated with the Chinese culture. And I love it, or sometimes the Japanese as well. But you can see the print has such an ethnic feel to it. And for me, I like to buy clothes in the countries I visit. That's what I keep as a souvenir. And this is such a nice souvenir of Shanghai and of China. And it will always remind me of Zach competing in the World Champs, which is like the pinnacle event of rowing outside the Olympics. So there's a whole lot of stuff associated with you expressing your identity as well. Quick recaps on this one as well, just to go back into it. So wearing prints enhances your wardrobe. What does it do? It helps you achieve visual effects like slimming, body proportion, adding interest to your outfit. It can boost mood, and it helps you express your identity. So let's have a look at how you incorporate prints into your wardrobe if you don't wear them. So start with something small, like a scarf, a bag, or a pair of socks to get comfortable with wearing print, like just a nice wee leopard print sock, just a wee touch, just a wee scarf, just a small something on a bag. And I always say when you're thinking of clothes, think about a top first, not a whole suit, because that's very overwhelming. So always pair it with a solid. We've talked about that. So ground a busy print by pairing it with a solid or neutral color. And that might be simple as wearing a blazer over a printed dress. Choose face flattering prints of something that enhances your coloring. So that's really, really important that the print actually enhances your coloring and is in your colors, and you know where to come. If you don't know how to get your colors done, I can do this for you. I'm really good at it. And I have an amazing system, which I'm getting even better at now, having been away for this week learning to train trainers. Also, this is really key, and I haven't spoken much about this, but considering contrast levels. So think of whether your print is low contrast, so the colors in the print are different from each other, but only a little bit different. Is it medium contrast or is it high contrast? So medium contrast, the colors are a little bit are different, but they are not screaming at each other like they might in a high contrast print. So again, even though the colors in what I'm wearing wouldn't be considered bright, it is a high contrast print because there's quite a difference between the colors. So when you have your color analysis done, one of the things we look at is what suits your contrast, what your personal contrast level is, and then how do you apply that to clothes? So how do you apply, and I should do a whole podcast on this, I'm just getting that I should. So what is the contrast level? What is the difference between the colors that you're wearing together and the clothes you're wearing? So you might be the difference of the color next to your skin, the difference of the colors in a print, or the difference of the colors when you're putting two garments together. So thinking about a print, because that's what we're talking about today, what is the contrast level in the print and is it aligned with what suits you? Well, that was a lot, wasn't it? So I think that has given quite a bit of information too about print. So hopefully you've got a bit of an idea. So just a couple of things to add to this discussion. When you buy a print, 80% of the colors in the print need to be colors that suit you. I've said this already. So I think a print is an easier way to dress than a plain because, again, you just take the printed garment and you go, okay, today I'm going to wear this particular print. Let me just find one here. I've got a whole pile of them in front of me. I might decide this is quite an out there one, but anyway, I'll pop it up anyway. And I'm going to wear this one in the middle here, which is a plaid, and it's got blue and yellow and red and orange and green in it, and it's quite out there. So if I was going to wear this particular one, I have all the colors I can wear with it right there in it. So to make your outfit look coordinated, you choose the colors in the print and wear them with the print. That makes sense? Yeah? So you might choose to wear blue trousers and an orange jacket. That's very out there. Let's find one that's not so intimidating because a lot of people will look at that and go, holy heckers, there's no way I'm going to wear that. That feels too much. Not for me. Goodbye. I'm off. No, thank you. Sorry. Let's get to the end of the day. Okay, let's look at a more subtle one. So in this color, this one at the top here, we have pink, green, and blue. It's very subtle. So this might be a little shirt. I'm just trying to hold it so it holds in front of the camera. And it's a stripe. So it's a pink, blue, and green stripe. And you might choose to wear this with a pink, soft pink jacket and a pair of blue jeans, or a green pair of trousers and a pink jacket, or just blue and blue. Yeah. So the print gives you the direction as to how to dress. So I hope that has been helpful. I know I have just talked the time flies when I'm doing this podcast. So I challenge you between now and next week's podcast to get out there and go and try a print. I also challenge you to send me a picture of it. Post it on the Instagram page when I pop this podcast up on Instagram. Show us what you've been wearing. Show us all the different prints out there. There's just an unlimited world of excitement when it comes to print. Yeah. If you're trying it for the first time, share the little print that you may have incorporated in as a taster, just to push yourself along. So anyway, I hope that's been helpful. I really, as always, appreciate you all listening to the podcast. It has been a labor of love, and I have an amazing sponsor for the podcast now, and I'm very grateful to her. So you'll hear more about her. But I also just want to say goodbye from Melbourne, Australia. It has been freezing here. It's hopefully going to get warm tomorrow. And have a wonderful week. If you're in Aotearoa, Christchurch, enjoy the festivities of the week. If you're not in another part of the country or world, enjoy your week too, whatever season you are in, and try on a print. So if you want to find me, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn. Oh, I'm on another one, YouTube as well. All of them. All 5 platforms. Oh my goodness. And Bright Red NZ is my handle. So you will find me there. And I really appreciate you. I appreciate you sharing this podcast. I appreciate you listening to this podcast. I'd absolutely love it if you could leave me a review. A good one would be amazing. And ki kaha, everybody. Look after yourself and have an amazing week.
Thank you for listening to the Style for Life podcast. Don't forget, you deserve to feel fabulous at every age, every stage, and at every size. If you're loving the show, hit subscribe and leave a review. It helps more amazing people like you find their way back to life through style. Thanks again. Until next time.